giving women stuff now? We're giving women stuff?
Only if your genetics suck so bad that you can't have a son.
Maybe God was just busy with murders. So he forgot to give that guy the ones you hated the most. And he's like, I fucking hated those guys. Like, we weren't them. He's like,
shit.
Yeah, you got a point, I guess. So I'll just change the rules now. I'm trying to find the good.
I get you, man. I get you. I mean, you got a little bit of time to find some good stuff, and then it just
in between just violent sexism. Yeah. It's just like,
well, that makes
sense.
Why does it hurt so bad? Why?
This is an old book. Very. This is like one of the old books.
Yes. What makes in the book? That's not in the fucking book.
No!
God says, cool, it's time to go take revenge on the people who forced you to worship another god. You remember that? When the people tricked them into worshiping the other god and then he had to kill them by plague. It wasn't the Israelites' choice. It was a trick. God says, go ahead, pull it together an army and then kill them all. And then Moses, it's time for you to die. So Moses goes and gets an army together. And they murder all the Midianite men. I can't find an exact number of people that they killed, but they killed 5 fucking kings. So I'm assuming that means a shitload of regular people.
I mean, if you kill 5 kings, chances are you killed a lot of people to get to the king.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. One of the king's names is Reba, so that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. They also kill Balaam.
No.
Yeah. Because apparently this is another retcon. Balaam was the guy who told the Midianites to use their women to lure the Israelites away and to worship the other god. It was Balaam's idea.
I can't tell if that's a retcon or not. Yeah. That feels like
it is.
It is?
Yeah, because they bring it up in this chapter. The last time we saw Balaam, the last thing that happened was he went shamananaya, shamanaha, and then fucking blessed everybody, even though he was trying to curse them. And then the last line in that story is, and then they went their separate ways.
And then he just shows up. It was me all along. I did it. I tricked you guys. But now he's dead.
Yeah.
So. All right. So, okay.
So
kill 5 fucking kings.
Yeah. They don't kill any women or children.
That seems far-fetched, but okay.
They bring them back as prisoners.
Never mind. Take it. Okay. All right. Cool.
And Moses gets super mad.
Huh.
And he's like, excuse me, why did you not murder all these women?
Oh, nope. Okay. Wrong reason to be mad, Mosey.
He's like, these women were the ones that fucking caused us to sin. It was their fault. They should pay for our sin.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And he's like, you know what? Okay. I did overreact a little bit. Go kill all the children. And then kill all the women who have slept with a man because they're dirty. But you can, and I quote, verse 18, keep the virgins for yourselves.
I mean, it's in there. That wasn't.
Yeah, no, I know. I read it.
That was me going, I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
That's, wow. Okay. Oof. Moses, you.
Yeah.
1 step forward, 2 steps back, my
Very
dude.
much so, yes.
I was really happy. Like, oh, Moses is upset about the slaves. No, he's upset that they weren't murdered.
Yeah.
Man, as Moses gets older, he just.
I was just going to say, Moses gets really weird at the end of this story because I think he's just burnt out.
Oh, he's got to be super burnt out.
Right?
Yeah. Because put yourself in Moses' shoes.
I'd rather not.
Okay, don't do it. I'm going to do it.
Okay. I'll listen.
So, I'm Moses now.
Sure. Cool.
And I have to talk to God, who is the worst. He's just awful. He wants everything dead.
Terrible.
And he made everything. It doesn't make any sense. You ask him any questions and he just punishes you extremely harshly. And then the other half, you have to talk to your tribe of Israelites. And they're the worst. Yeah. Because they complain all the time. And they're upset with God for the murder. And you have to try to bridge these 2 gaps. Yeah. And it never works because whenever you try to bridge them, there's murder, there's fire, there's it's the worst every time. And you've been doing this your whole life.
Yeah, he's 120.
He's like, so for like 120 years, he's been doing that, which is the worst job of all time. God does not reward him ever. Actually, he just punishes him.
Punishes him for small mistakes.
He just punishes him less than everyone else. It's not like he gets special treatment. He just doesn't get.
But in a way, those punishments are even worse because Moses still had to wander for 40 years.
He was there the whole time.
Yeah, but he gets to see the promised land from across the river before he dies.
So I get him being burnt out.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't excuse him being like, what'd you do with all these women and children as prisoners? They're not supposed to be prisoners. They're supposed to be murdered. Kill those women. Except for the virgins. You can rape them as much as you want. Do your slaves now. Just go crazy. Have fun.
So speaking of raping, there's so much justification online saying like, well, no, they married him. It's not rape. Like, setting aside the weird assumption that a husband can't rape a wife. Not even going there.
Wait. They can?
Not even going there. How many of these 48,000 young girls I counted or did adding? How many of those young girls do you think were like, you know what I can't wait for? To get some of that my family murdering dick in me.
Oh, God. Well, my whole family has just been murdered. It makes me like super horny.
Right.
Oh,
and also just really ready to marry the person that did it.
I'm ready to have consensual sex and be married to the person who killed my whole family. It just makes me so moist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
But also a great point.
Yeah.
No one's going to do that. No one's going to willfully marry the person that made their life the worst it could possibly be. So a whole lot of raping going on.
There you go. So Moses tells them anybody that killed a person or touched a dead body has to purify themselves. They have to go sit outside the camp for a week, and they do the water thing twice. And it's the stuff, yeah. They divide up the plunder, which includes humans. Humans are plunder.
No, they're not.
Like this. Half of the plunder goes to the people that fought.
Okay.
Half of the plunder goes to the rest of all the Israelites. So the people that fought kind of get the majority of it because they were a smaller group.
Sure.
God gets one of every 500 plunder from the army and one of every 50 plunder from the other.
God tax.
Yeah.
Okay. It's stupid.
It's super stupid. In total, there were 1,012,500 sheep, 108,000 cattle, 91,600 donkeys, and 48,000, quote, young girls.
Okay.
And then the soldiers go to Moses and they're like, dude, we just did a head count. Not a single one of us died in that fight. Here's a bunch of gold to give to God to say thanks.
So I was just thinking, you know how whenever there's a fight ever, both sides usually end up pretty banged up. Yeah. You know, like when there's a war, you know, both sides usually people die on both sides. You know, when people don't die on one side is when the other side was either super unprepared. So either this military is very, very good, very, very good strategists, and which would make sense because they fight like all the time and they kill a bunch of people. Or the more logical thing is that it was an ambush / massacre. They just killed and went everywhere, and like they didn't fight people with armies. They just fought like they're like, "What are you guys doing here?" "Oh, we're just humble farmers." "Stamp." "What are you guys doing over here?" You know, we just like with stonemasons. We're trying to like build houses and create. Stamp. Like they just killed everything. Like if like, hey, none of us died. That means they killed so many innocent people. All those kings were probably just napping, and they were like, "Stamp, stamp, stamp."
Yeah,
that's how they. Oh, that's dark. I don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the God taxing.
I mean, that was the whole thing of that part. Just they're like, we didn't die. Here's gold. Thanks, God. Also, we don't know what you're going to do with gold, but
how do they just give? I mean,
because they give it to the temple,
and then the temple just leaves it there where it's supposed to be and doesn't use it for anything.
Use it.
No. God uses it.
Yeah. Chapter 32. We're moving right along.
Moving right along.
I actually think we're almost done with this book of the Bible.
Yeah. What? Mm-hmm. Think we're going to get through it today? Oh, shit, we might actually get through it today.
Oh, we're going to get through a lot today.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. So the tribes of Reuben and Gad.
Sure.
Gad's fun. Go to Moses, and they're like, hey, we raise livestock. We raise cows and doggies and stuff. And this land that we've been posted up in pre-promised lands right now is actually super awesome for our livestock. We were wondering if it would be cool if we had this land instead of territory in Canaan.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yes. I'm listening.
And Moses goes, yeah. Are you fucking pussies trying to fucking get out of this fucking war?
What war?
Are you trying to fucking sit aside while all the rest of your fucking brothers in arms go and murder hundreds of thousands of innocent people? Are you trying to get out of that shit? Because you know what happened last time we tried to get out of that shit? We wandered for 40 fucking years. And you know who was there for 40 fucking years? This guy. If you try to get out of this shit, I will fuck you up so hard you won't know who you are.
Do you feel like that conversation could have gone better? Because that just took like a hard turn. Oh. Okay, Moses. Yeah, whatever you say, I guess.
So that's pretty much exactly how they react. They're just like, no, dude, like the land we're on is literally just really good for livestock. And we just want to have our families here. Like, we're part of this. We're going to go murder all the innocent people over there. We're super hard over it.
I fought in Nam, kid, and you want to fucking farm. You think you're better than me because you want to be here with cows? You know how many people I've killed? How many wives I've taken? The things I've seen? The things these hands have done? And you want to farm?
What does all that stuff have to do with the thing that I want to do?
And they seriously say, like, no, we're going to go fight with you. We just want this land, not that land. And Moses is like, okay, you better fucking show up. If you don't fucking show up, then God's going to fuck you up.
I remember everything. I'm Moses. I know stuff. You think I don't know? You think you can pull a fast one on me? I'll send God. I'll put leeches up your asshole. I don't give a shit.
And then Moses goes to the Israelites and publicly announces, to the Levites, and publicly announces, hey, everybody, Reuben and Gad, they don't want the normal promised land. They want the other promised land. I think it's because they're pussies and they're not going to fight in this war. If they don't fight in this war, they don't get shit.
Dude, we just wanted, what the fuck is going on, man?
So that's literally how they react.
We didn't say anything about fighting. You brought up the fighting. We just wanted the land.
Mm-hmm.
We just wanted to move from here to here. Mm-hmm. And now you're upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. That's weird.
Yeah. That's chapter 32.
It's just Moses getting upset at people asking for stuff.
Yeah. And then actually in my little Moses bit, I did make one mistake that actually makes him more reasonable. What he says to the Levites is if the tribes of Gad and Reuben don't fight in the war, then they have to take land in the promised land. They don't get their different land. So they're not actually getting punished. They just don't get to stay where they are.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like it should be. That's pointless.
Chapter 33 lists every single place they went to.
What?
I'm not kidding. That's the whole thing.
So it's just everything that we've just read, but like condensed and more like location wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and read chapter 33, starting at verse 5, because the first 4 verses of that chapter are explaining what the rest of the chapter is going to be. This is the worst book.
Okay. The Israelites left Ramses and camped at Succoth. Mm-hmm. They left Succoth and camped at Etham on the edge of the desert. They left Etham, turned back to Pi-Hahiroth to the east of Baal Zephon and camped near Migdol. It's super weird because this is like when you hang out with somebody and their group of friends and they just start talking about everybody. Like, do you remember when Zach and Kyle went to the mall and like the ducks? Oh, it was so much fun.
Ducks were the best. I'm never going to forget that day.
And then Maggie and Ruth showed up and we're like,
I forgot about that.
And then we went back to Randy's house and we all did some Zeep Stop and did Loop Loop and then had a Vop Vop. It was like, why? Like, without knowing any of these people, like, that's so Mandy. Like, ugh. It's just they left Fihoroth and passed down the sea into the desert, and they had traveled for 3 days in the desert of Etham. They camped at Mara. They left Mara and went to Elam, where they were 12 springs and 70 palm trees. And they camped there. They left Elam and camped by the Red Sea. Again, this feels like, I know I say this a lot, but this feels like a 5-year-old wrote it. They left Elam and camped by the Red Sea, and they left the Red Sea, and they camped by the desert of Sin. They left the desert of Sin. They camped at Dovka. They left Dovka and went to Alshish. They left Alshish and camped at Rephidimi. It's
nonsense.
It's
nonsense.
bullshit. Why is any of that in there?
Because
and it just goes on.
The book wasn't long enough.
For 30 chapters or for 30 verses.
Yeah.
It just goes from 5 to 36. It's just that with names you can't say.
It's actually that until verse 48. There's just a small pause where they talk about Aaron dying.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
chapter 34. Oh, I'm sorry, chapter 33. Oh, at the end of the chapter, at the end of chapter 33, God reiterates that they have to kill literally every living human in Canaan when they get there. And if they don't kill literally every living human in Canaan when they get there, then it's going to make their life super difficult. So they have to kill everybody. Kill everybody. Everybody needs to die. Kill everybody.
I mean, they've been saying that for a while, but now it's going to happen. So it's not ideal, but they have been building towards that, I guess.
No, 100%.
It's been super cash, though. It's been like, wait till we get to the promised land. Aren't people living there? Oh, yeah, you got to kill them. But wait till we get there. It's super nice. Milk and honey, blah, blah, blah. Don't eat the grapes.